Welcome to the video. This is the first of a series of 3 about referencing your work. This is step 1, where I cover the minimum you need to know to start referencing successfully. So referencing is about acknowledging the ownership of resources used in your academic writing and provides information necessary to identify and retrieve the literature you've referred to in your work. Let's get straight onto it. I'm going to share my desktop with you now. So there are many different referencing styles. At AUT, most courses use the APA reference style, in particular Format 7. And there are 2 components in the APA referencing style: in-text citations and the corresponding reference list. And it works like this. With anything that you have read and referred to in your academic writing, you must acknowledge it in your document, in your assessment, as an in-text citation, and you must include it in a reference list at the end of your document. So what does this look like? Well, an in-text citation, depending on the use, might look something like this. Here I've got a body of text that I've written, but I've drawn on the knowledge of an author, so I've referred to them, I've acknowledged their work in an in-text citation. And as well as the in-text citation, I also have a reference list at the end of the document itself. That reference list contains more information about the actual document that I've referred to. And it's a specific formula. So it's just straightforward, using a formula for APA Format 7 to come up with all of the different references, all of the different reference types. For example, here's one for a PowerPoint slide. Starts off with the author's name and initials, and then works through to the year and date of presentation and the title and so on. Different formats for different styles. You also have to have an attention for detail because the punctuation and where it's used, very important in APA Format 7. And as well as punctuation and where it's used, then there's also the formatting itself to pay attention to as well. For example, whether or not text is italicized, or whether or not there is a space, or whether text is indented in APA Format 7. So very important to take note of all of these details. So this is how it looks as a single reference. Let's have a look more like a real world situation. I'm going to bring up another screen for you now. So this is a typical paragraph, might be in an assessment, might be in a document that you're working on. And this paragraph is using appropriate Format 7 APA referencing. So let's just have a look at that paragraph. You can see there all of the different styles of in-text citations used there. I think let's just have a quick look at each of those different styles. Let's have a look first of all. Single author. So nice and easy. There's a in-text citation for a paragraph that I've written, drawing on the work of a single author. Might be perhaps that the material that you're using might have more than one author. In that case, there's an example there, in-text citation used at the end. And you've got 2 authors, but there I can see I've used the ampersand in between the 2 authors. That's the appropriate way for Format 7. Don't use the word and, use an ampersand. And you can see also other aspects of the format as well. It's enclosed in brackets. You've got a comma, and then you've got the year as well. These are the details that are required for Format 7. Let's have a look at work that I've synthesized here. So I've used a few authors together. So in this case, at the end of the paragraph, I've got the 2 different pieces of work there, the authors. I've got Meyerson 2008, then I've got a colon, then I've got the second author there. These are in alphabetical order based on that first author, and each of the year there is represented for each of the bodies of work. Fantastic. That's multiple authors where you've synthesized two different pieces of work together. Now, as well as focusing on the text itself, you can also focus on the author with in-text citations. So that's the different style down here. Let's have a look at that. So here we've got a sentence where instead of focusing on the writing itself, I really wanted to draw attention to the author that was used for this particular body of work. So there I've highlighted Johnson as being the author, and you can see also a slightly different in-text style here. This doesn't have the brackets around everything for focusing on the author. this has the brackets around the year itself, so slightly different formats they're used for in-text citations when you want to focus attention on the author. Well, here's another one. If you've got multiple authors, then you can use et al. So if you've got 2 or more authors, rather than listing them all there, you can just use et al. Inside as the in-text citation. Okay, and then, the last one there is an example of if you directly quote from an author's work. In this case, then you need to include the page number. So if you can't rewrite the work yourself and you decide to use the quote from an author inside the speech marks, then you need to include page number as well. So there's some examples of in-text citations. As well as the in-text citations, there's also the reference list. Let's have a look at that. That's at the end of the document. So let me bring that up for you now. Here we go. Here's the reference list at the end of the document there. So you can see the different references, much more material in the reference list as in the in-text citation. You can see it's in alphabetical order based on that surname. So positioned like that. You can see the formatting that's required as well, and different formats for different media types as well. So here I've got a book, so it's slightly different to, say, a news article, and different again to an academic journal, for example. So different formats for different styles. Now the good thing is you don't have to remember all of these. In the second video, step 2, I'll show you where you can get access to all of the different guides to help you format APA Format 7 and help you to check your work. So there we go. This is the introduction to APA Format 7 referencing. I hope that you found that useful. Remember, please, if you found this useful, to like and subscribe. And perhaps if you want to, leave a comment, particularly if you've got an idea about future videos that you might want to see on this channel to help you with your academic work. So thank you very much. Remember to check out step 2. Go well.